Hello, my name's Kevin. This is Dirty 20 Gaming, and this is Friday night, which means it's time for some flat out foolishness. This is Fun Shot Fridays, where we are doing one shot games designed to have a little bit of fun. Joining me tonight, first of all, before I do that, I should follow my own damn instructions. The game we are playing tonight, you can see part of the title behind me. It's so big it wouldn't fit on the screen. It's called Havoc Brigade, and it is by an incredibly talented game designer named Grant Howitt. He has done dozens of these games. They're really simple. Lots of them are 1 to 2 page instruction manuals, and most of them are available either free of charge or pay what you can in all the various places where you can buy RPGs online. And I strongly suggest you do so because they are all a lot of fun. We are playing tonight Havoc Brigade, which is a bunch of orcs on a mission. So because of that, there might be the occasional bit of foul language and rudeness. We will attempt to control ourselves to the best of our abilities, but you might not want to have the kiddies about for this one. With that, let's just start by introducing the people that are here with me tonight. First of all, let me get some stuff. Oh, hang on there. We're playing Havoc today. Havoc Brigade by Grant Howitt. Orcz on a mission to help me tonight doing this. We've got probably one face you guys might recognize, at least those of you from over at the Mercs of Mischief channel. The role player formerly known as Richard. We've got Scarred Adventurer with us tonight. And then down on the second row, we've got two that none of you will probably recognize. Directly below me is a buddy of mine, Nick. He and I have been gaming together and have known each other for many, many, many years. And when I got a hold of him and said, I want to do Orcz, he said, I got a friend who has to play. And so that's how I met Bison, who is now down there in the other corner of the game. And to be completely honest, we met like 40 minutes ago. So, that's them. Now, what we are going to do next here is... Oh, it's good. Okay. Trying to watch Twitch and all this other stuff at the same time. It's all bad. It's all going wrong.
Figure.
Apparently, it's all fixed. So, we're good. So, what I need all of you to do, all three of you, please roll me a d6 each. You can use that roll some dice macro and just roll one each, please.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't matter about the successes. This is who's playing what. So, 3.
1, not 10.
5.
I'm not a success.
Reroll that 3.
That's what my father always told me.
Bison, roll again. I need something other than a 3.
Yeah.
A 4. Excellent. So, based on that, I'm going to give you guys your characters. 3. Scarred Adventurer, you are the Ox, the Iron Clan Bruiser. You should now be able to see that character. Go to the attributes and ability page. That's the page that you're going to need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Roosbar, you are going to be Wrench, the Inventor.
Percussive maintenance!
And you should now be able to see your own self. And 4, oh, most excellent. Bison, you are Profanius, the Paladin of Bog El Karuk.
Fucking hey.
So you should now be able to see yourself in just a second. So get on that attributes and abilities page, and while we are here, I am going to explain to you all the rules of the game. When you attempt to do something, you roll a d6. On a 4, 5, or 6, you get a success. The more successes you get, the better. The way you roll more dice is, if you can look at your screen here, if you can see you've got equipment and drives and also skills, which is over on the abilities side.
I can only see my bio and info tab.
Same here.
Oh, okay, hang on.
What's
I
going
put
on,
it as
mate?
show,
What
but
the
not. I put it as show, but not edit. I should know better than this. I claim to be half-ass decent at using Roll20. Moments, please. It is changing as we speak.
There we go.
And...
All right, start again.
Right. One moment. Okay, now can everybody get to their attributes and abilities page?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
shout?
So-
Okay, there we go.
On the right-hand side, it says abilities, and you've got 2 or 3 of those. If you can figure out how to use one of those to help in the action you are attempting to perform, you can add a d6. Same thing with your equipment on the other side. If you figure out how to use that equipment to help you in whatever you're trying to do, you can add a d6. But you notice your equipment has usages. You can only use it so many times over the course of the whole night.
Mm.
There's also drives just below your equipment. These are things that you can use a couple times each, but if you can figure out how to use one of those on the action you're trying to resolve, you can add 2 dice. Also, when you are scavenging, obviously you loot stuff when you kill stuff. And when you loot stuff, the only limit is you have to put it in order on the sheet. So the first thing you scavenge has to go in that top row, which means you can only use it twice. The second thing you scavenge, you can use 3 times. The third thing you scavenge, you can use 4 times. Then there's wounds. That gets to 0, you're dying, but you're not actually dead until it goes into the negatives. Then the fun stuff. Down at the bottom, there's 3 of them there. That's dead good, it says. That is when somebody else has tried something and they've failed their roll. This is you going, no, that's dead good, and they get to roll again.
Yeah.
So each
Alright.
of you gets 2 rerolls, but only for other players. You can't use them yourself. Cunning plan. This is rare. There will be games go by without ever using this skill. But if you and your character can come up with a cunning plan and talk one of the other orcs into doing it, they will get plus 2 dice on their attempt to do it. But only if they listen to you. There is one more down there at the bottom. It says mayhem in capital letters and then a smaller word or sentence afterwards. Mayhem, once per game, you may roll all the available dice and take all the successes out of that and cause something spectacular to happen. The only limit is you have to tell me how you do it in such a way which encapsulates that little word or phrase. The only other thing is combat, or anytime you're trying to do something dangerous. You roll, I roll, the loser takes the difference in damage. That is all. The only other thing you might notice on the map is down at the bottom it says suspicion pool. Those are the dice that I get to add to my rolls as the NPCs. But when you use mayhem, you also get to use those dice. So you add those to your roll. And that really is it. So with that, I want to roll our where is it? The intro video. Everybody at home, watch this. From the amazing intro. It was spectacular. Nerd narrative. I'm so sorry I didn't get it to work. Really, it's fucking amazing, and it will be in the YouTube video. Shit, I feel like an ass.
Right, that's
Anyway, back to our orcs. The plot, such as it is. You lot have been drinking for a week. The party started way get back there in the forest and continued this way, and there's less and less and less of you as the week has gone on. And it is finally the three of you that stumble out of the forest into a clearing in front of a village, a town. 7 days it's been. Everybody else is passed out or dead. The three of you do not know each other. You'd never met before this party, but you've got that sort of party buddy thing going where you've been at this for a long time. But a horrible, horrible thing has happened. You are out of beer. The town lies below you, but you know that you are broke. And probably not all that welcome in this town, because it's one of those human, elfy, dwarfy, gnomey towns that don't like orcs all that much. But somebody, it wasn't one of you three, but you kind of latched onto it in one of those this seems like a good idea party ideas, proposed at some point yesterday that what you needed to do was to steal the princess's rainbow Pegasus unicorn and sell it for beer money. So you find yourselves southwest of town. You guys can see the map. There are a number of ways into this town. What in the world would you like to do?
Well, I can't find me map, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, hang on. Let me make sure I've got you on the map.
I would like the map, please.
Oh, okay. You're still on the title page. There's the map.
Ah, there we go.
So you should be at the southwest corner of that map. And if you forgot all the rules, they're all sitting there on the map. Skills and equipment, add 1 to your die. If you can add 1 die to your roll, if you can figure out how to use them, or add them in. Drives and a cunning plan, add 2. Mayhem adds all. By all, I mean the suspicion pool, along with everything you can think of. And that suspicion pool will go up as you get further into town.
So we's in the woods, yeah?
So.
Yeah, where are we at?
You are southwest of the city, up here at the
there's
lookout. There's a token that you guys can actually move. So the closest gate would be Sparrow Gate. There is a large river runs through the middle of this city. You guys you're on a hill, so you can look down and sort of see it laid out. Obviously, the this area, Greenside, it's all foresty and like park-like. Beyond that, this is clearly sort of the business center. The Grand Bazaar is here, plus a lot of the other little areas. The wharf side is known for being a party place. But, of course, the fancy people all live over here. And the really fancy people live out here in the palace, which is where you would find the princess and, perforce, her rainbow Pegasus unicorn.
Let's see here.
I have suggestion.
What?
We go through gate, hide in zoo for 2 weeks. Become friends with animals. Make them think they one of us. We one of them. Then, once we have animal trust, we go out as circus and steal Pegasus unicorn in confusion.
No, that'll take too long.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, I'll be sober by then. That's not good. I don't want to fucking hang out.
I might die of being sober by then.
What if we just get a dwarf to do it for us? Just
maybe we can do it without waiting 2 weeks.
Gain animal trust in 30 minutes. Difficult task.
Or,
however, definitely a cunning plan.
so good.
I have
What if we
ideas.
steal beer from the dwarves and make them think the elves did it?
Yes.
It's always at each
Start
other's throats.
race kerfuffle.
How do we do that?
Oh, it's sobering up out here, guys. Oh, the fresh wind, the dawn, the sun's coming up, the city's starting to come to life below you.
Well, Zog that.
Something remotely like a hangover is starting to kick in.
I like zoo idea, but I have jar of explodey stuff. Let's go to zoo, throw this, and make zoo run. Then we can steal all the things during the chaos that ensues.
But how we gain animal trust during meantime?
Oh, hang animal trust. No need animal trust. Need animal rampage.
I see where your brain thinking.
I like this idea.
And you guys are so hammered, you're actually moving downhill almost by accident. Like every time you stumble, you sort of accidentally start heading down the hill towards the town.
Hey, look, we're getting closer. Let's go.
The Sparrow Gate ahead of you is open. Like any, this is not a closed city. There are guards there, but the guards are wearing, well, let me be clear. They look like elves at a Santa thing in the mall. Like they're wearing little green outfits with the reverse cast of like the battlements, upside down battlement on the bottom of their tunics, the squares. They've got like almost ornamental weapons and little miserable little tin hats. They're clearly part of the terrain rather than anything designed to stop you guys coming.
I'm going to. I have a welding mask.
Yep.
I'm just gonna poke down over my face. And lift the little window so I can actually still see.
Yep.
And I'm going to lead.
Your beady, bloodshot eyes glowing out of the darkness behind the mask.
Yep.
And as you approach, they're just looking at you. Just,
Hey, friend, I have idea. You want start race kerfuffle? Well, we steal outfits, dress in outfits.
Make them think the elves did it. I like the way you think it. Oh, boy, these guys don't need too much in the way of crumping. They just... So...
And I'm saying this as loud as I can.
Oh, yeah. There's no
You are
quiet.
smarter than you look. So
Yes,
this happening.
smart. I imagine the uniforms are like 2 sizes too small.
Oh yeah, on the
Probably.
humans they're too small. Like they're artistically tight on the humans. Yeah, if you were putting, you would put on parts of this uniform at best.
That's
You are
great
like
Orcz.
Let's just. I have a good idea. Let's just walk past them. Let's see what happens.
Yes, walk past. With confidence, we see we belong.
I will walk up front. You will be my boys. I will vouch. I will pretend to be human. They won't notice the difference.
Yes, but make sure you say human things like, what heat we have today. Oh my gosh, is it tax day already?
It is a beautiful day, is it not?
The three of you having a discussion on what conversation you should have as you stumble up to the gate. The two, now you see the way they are holding their little almost toy spears and shields, these are not guards. These are actors.
Well, I'd be hitting stuff for Bogal Kara.
The spears are going as the three of you approach. Three obviously drunk, obviously warlike, 8 foot tall, 400-pound orcs in armor, fully armed, wearing, in one case, a mask with beady eyes, approaching the city gate.
Hello, friend. Nice weather we're having.
Hello, welcome.
They clap him on the shoulder.
He takes 1 point of damage. Ow!
Sorry, friend. Not know my own strength. Beautiful day.
Freiburg.
Thank you. Bye-bye now, and I'm just going to
Bye-bye.
continue on.
Bye-bye. Ow.
Yes, and what
Freddie.
heat we have today.
You walk back. The other guard, as the last of you walks past into the city, you hear. He just cut somebody's breath.
What you say to me? You know, point you get.
I didn't say nothing, sir. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, sir.
That's what I thought. You have a good day now.
Bye. And he actually starts to wobble a little bit. Like he might be just a tiny bit impaired. And you guys walk through the gates, and behind you, you hear.
If I'm to understand properly, did one of them get drunk off the alcohol vapors from the breath?
Yes. And then apparently to the extent where he's just lost control of his bowels.
Awesome.
I want to set
Whatever
the
we
tone
were drinking
really
afterwards.
low and really early.
See, boys, we're good at playing humies.
Now,
It's not that hard. It's not that smart.
here's the thing: you are on a fairly main road. To the left of you is an area called Greenside. It is all forests. Even the wall surrounding it is all like trees that are interwoven and hedges and vines. There's doorways through it. You can hear bird song and all kinds of stuff in that side. On the other side is mostly houses, middle class place. Directly ahead of you in the distance at this upcoming junction, is just, it looks like a rainbow exploded. There are flowers everywhere in this plaza. You can smell them from flowers. It's all
Zog this.
sweet
I need
and-
a piss. I'm heading to the plaza. I'm gonna piss all over them flowers for Bog O'Connor, because he's the best god there is.
If you would like to roll to go piss on the flowers, you can use many dice because you invoked your god, so that's one. No, that's a drive, actually. That's two. Do you have any skills or equipment which might help you
Oh,
pee on
shit.
flowers?
What skills do I have that'll help me pee?
You have a look on that sheet. You can use the obvious one, but I will give you a number of times you can use it during the night. It will be the first thing you scavenge, so you'll be able to use it twice.
Well, I'm thinking because Bog O'Connor is the bestest god there is. He's better than all these Ponzi elven gods.
Yep.
I will spread the word and piss all over them to show that I am better.
Yes.
So I'm thinking
Profanius,
spreading
I
the
can move
word.
you there. So that, if you guys can see this is an orc. This is an orc paladin. He is seen from the front. He is a square, an armored square, and he walks up and after fiddling with his like it's a long time since he's taken his pants off. But yes, go ahead and roll me what would be 3d6.
I guess.
2 for your drive and 1 for just being able to pee.
Okay,
I've done this many times before. I've practiced.
I have not
But
seen
not
the
this
thing that
drum.
does it in many years, but
Usually I don't take it out to
Alright.
go.
that was.
I figured it out how to piss once.
You rolled one
Shit, one
success.
success.
Yeah, so a lot of it goes on the flowers, and some of it goes on your shoe, and a little bit goes on your hand when you shake at the end. So it was a reasonably successful pee on the flowers. What it has done is sent the locals, a lot of the locals, shrieking and running into the distance. See, I knew I was going to change this number a lot. I didn't know I was going to change it this often. Suspicion's already up to 4.
I'm doing it right then.
So yeah, the flower vendors are shrieking invariably like this out of the flower vendor region, and you see to your south, just south, but mostly to your east down the road, there's a building with a bunch of humies in wannabe armor with wannabe swords and wannabe shields standing on the steps and you can see the sign. You probably can't read it, but you can see from the crossed swords. This is a sword masters guild. So these are the human swordsmen, and they're kind of looking down the street. They haven't come off the porch yet, but they're looking. The other two.
Guys, cunning plan.
Oh,
Oh.
He tried a second time.
You see, they clearly threatening us. What we need do is hit them till they stop moving.
I
I
like
like
this
this.
plan.
Bog Alkarak agrees. What you get? What you want? You got a problem with this?
You're
Yes,
yelling
and
at
I
a-
use
basically
several
an
lengths
empty
of
square.
chain.
Yeah. You swing a chain, yeah. Okay, so yes, to the right side, a rapidly disappearing crowd of people heading into the town, the silver side, the sort of houses. People fleeing in all directions from the plaza, including towards the two of you who are standing just outside the entrance to Greenside. And you hear from in Greenside something, I can't imagine what, has caused a bit of a fuss. And you can hear some animals. So that must be where the zoo is.
Ah, cunning plan, phase 2.
Oh.
Take 1 damage.
Really? Or
No, Jacob took 1 damage. I watched you. You just about poked yourself in the eye. So yes, the zoo
Are
is
you
right
thinking
inside.
what I am thinking?
Probably not.
I'm
But
surprised
let's.
either one of you are thinking.
Huh?
So yeah, there's people running up the street towards you, and they kind of urge, and they look back behind them, and he's trying to put it back in his pants, and it won't quite go. So they're just
How hard are we dealing with an anaconda?
the pants are coming off. He can't get the belt back up. Yeah. The last 3 times he's peed, he just hasn't bothered dropping his pants. You know, it's an orc thing.
I'm gonna take my electro lodestone powered railgun, aka shooty thing,
Yep.
and point it at them. Don't come any closer.
Okay.
I fill
so
you full of magical shooty bits.
that would definitely be yeah. So that's 1 die for trying to scare them. 1 for the equipment. Do you have any skills or drives or anything that you use there? And if you use that equipment, you have to mark off 1 use. I think your gun has, what, 3 or 4 uses?
I'm not gonna fire it.
Nope. Well, then you don't get the bonus. You have to
Okay.
use it.
Nope, I'm not gonna fire it.
Okay. But you can wave it around. I mean, that's still, you know, you're still scary. Drives
Mayhem, no.
or skills?
No.
I mean, these
no.
are just these are flower vendors.
Yeah, no, I'm
So,
just a little bit of old fashioned intimidation.
Yep. Give me 2d6. Waving the
Alright.
gun around. I'll give you the use of that without burning the use of the gun.
Cool. Alright.
Because it's a 1-shot. Nothing matters.
1 success.
1 success. Yeah, you. And accidentally, at one point, the tip of the gun drops, and the only person showing the slightest bit of bravery is suddenly confronted with a boar like this from 8 feet away. And their bravery quickly runs away in a stream down the inside of both of their legs, and they turn around and run back towards the peeing monster in the still filled common area.
Now that's how you intimidate a human.
I feel like you overcomplicated things.
Overcomplicated? That sounds like an Elvish word.
Overcomplicate is my middle name.
You just can't spell it. So
Oh, I can spell it. It's OVR complicated.
Yes.
Don't hurt yourself. I'm the smart one in here. Tell you.
So you're the only one that hasn't done their thing yet. What are you doing? Start.
I think I'm going to walk over.
Yep.
And just kind of go. You're still just to if there's anyone that hasn't completely run away fully yet.
Oh no, they're gone. You guys
Oh,
are
never
in an empty
mind.
quarter of town now. Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk up directly to the swords masters
Okay.
and go. Yeah, and just kind of like see if I can smack them hard enough by the side of the head to get them to bang their heads into each other.
You could certainly. What? Tell me. So that's 1 die. What skill or equipment are you going to use?
Actually, I think I'll use my enormous sword.
Okay.
And just hit them with the.
Yep.
Hit them with that.
That's what it's called. An
Works
enormous sword.
every time.
Yeah.
Any drives?
sorry, what's the thing I'm looking for? Yeah, no, to prove that just hitting things is a viable alternative to complicated battle plans.
So that's 4. There you go. So I like this. You have lots of cunning plans, but you also think that there is a viable alternative, which is thump it. So 4 dice, please, against the flock of swordsmen.
He's working with Gork and Mork. Holy shit.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay, they get to roll back.
Nice. Kev, I'm gonna say that I did not leave from that area.
Oh, okay. You stayed back there. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just drag your token back there, then, back by the zoo.
Where's
You know how to do it.
is that?
So
Yeah.
that is 3 damage to that.
I don't have. Where's my token? This is the group token, is it not?
Yeah, but if you go to journal and grab the your
where's
name
mine?
of your character and drag it out.
Where is mine? There it is. A plunk.
I forgot to put the names on the screen too, so nobody knows who you're playing. But that's all right. It doesn't matter.
Why is the big square that fights things?
This is my refrigerator-shaped friend.
So
He smacks things good.
Yeah, you you step up and just bing, and it's those the executive toy where you lift the balls at one and you let them go and it goes.
Yeah.
The Newton's Cradle.
That's Newton's Cradle. You get the Swordsman's Guild version of that. So you
That's
slap
what I
the
was
first
aiming
one and it's
for.
ding ding ding. 3 of them get, and it goes all the way down the line. But the first 3 actually drop and they're kind of shaking their heads and they are out of this. They are basically out of this fight. There are 6 of them left. They all took it. They went all the way down the line, but only 3 of them were removed.
I have stopped pissing and I'm now clapping at Riskbar.
Yeah.
Display orcish might. Oh, that was some good stuff, mate.
Yes, Ox good at things.
Not me.
Sorry, Riskbar. Wrong one, my bad.
So
drunk I don't know who I'm talking to.
So one of you is still in the flower park. One of you is just slapped a group of swordsmen, and the other one is standing outside the zoo. Let's go back to the one outside the zoo.
There's the Sparky one. I follow.
Let's change that status from outside the zoo to inside the zoo, please.
I've been waiting for this for a while. You step through the gate into the zoo, and this bloody zoo's inside out. There's a tunnel ahead of you that's got some people in it, and everything outside the tunnel is all the animals. It's not cages, it's all one big area. You step through, you look around, there's like a hyena eating a gazelle over here. It's just nature being nature in outside of this glass tube.
All right, who's got a torch?
Notice, like this glass tube spreads out like fingers, like it's a series of walkways that go out through this area, but the animals can get over it all over the place. It's so amazing to see all the animals around you. Almost for a moment failed to notice that all the people in here, there's some elves and some humans, they are all naked. They're just walking around, just totally stark and looking at the animals and watching the animals eat each other like there's nothing going on.
Barbaric.
What the zog? You ain't even got a gut plate on. Get your fucking armor on, you just losing it.
Well, he's actually the only one there he's the only one there right now.
Oh, he is? Oh, I'm sorry.
You're still at the flower garden. You're watching the Newton's Cradle of Swordsmen.
Well, yeah, I'm still clapping. My bad.
Yeah. You're so pink. So pink. Hold on. That's my turn for cunning plan. But jar of explodey stuff.
Yep.
Look out! He has a bomb! Nah! Raise up over my head and just start running at them.
Yep. Yeah, this requires no roll. You fill this tube. I mean, the tube's like 10 feet square, and you're coming with your arm up with an obvious explosive device in your hand, weaponry festooned off of you, hammered drunk, charging the naked people. They run. The naked people are not brave. I don't care why they're naked. The fact that they're nudists is beside the point. They are just tearing as fast away from you as they can go down these tunnels.
My plan worked perfectly. All
Okay,
right,
so
Yep.
I was gonna say while he's dealing with all of that, I was thinking these soul masters, they got any good stuff? Anything flash, or is it all naff?
Sorry, what? The which?
These sword masters that I,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
watching these guys get slapped, they got anything decent, or is it all like naff bullshit?
They've got these guys are real soldiers. I mean, it's human stuff, so it's not their long sword to be a short.
So
sword.
I've got a couple of daggers.
Yeah, but they've got, you can scavenge absolutely. That's part of the game.
Oh.
Yes, they have swords. So if you want a sword and
All
a
right,
shield and
so
some armor,
I want-
absolutely.
I want the biggest fucking flash sword they got and nicest hat. I need a good hat.
Right. So you go charging in.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's an attack.
Probably
What
bombs.
skills or equipment?
Oh well, I'm gonna have to use hitting stuff for Borgal Kara because of course I'm not hitting stuff for him. Then why fuck I'm hitting stuff?
Yep.
And
that's
I'm going
two.
to need my I'm going to need my ancient sword. Show them that this is what I'm hitting them with.
Yep.
Why not? And they're just Ponzi nubs, so I don't need to prove that I'm better than them because it's obvious. So
Yep.
Keep that.
You're at 4 already.
So sword.
Yep.
Sword, hidden stuff.
So you're only 4d6.
46.
I don't know why I say d6. There's the only dice in the game. Just roll 4. Oh.
Old habits die hard, my friend.
And 1. So, yeah, you stumble up. You're still sort of like your pants are up, but you're having to hold them up. You haven't got the belt done up yet because you were clapping and they fell down again. So you kind of get there. You reach out with the sword and just thump one with the handle of the sword, and he he goes down. They're starting to as a group start to back away. You notice they're
That's what you get you.
yeah, so the way this was, they fought back, right? But not effectively in any way, shape, or form. The way this game works, NPCs don't do stuff. They have stuff done to them and they react. So, so back in the zoo, you get to the place where it spreads out, and down every single one of these tunnels, there's a bunch of naked people pressed to the ends, like they can't get out, but they're all pressed together in these like big naked piles at the end of these 5 tunnels. Even the animals are looking through, going at the end.
So there's like one central like nexus sort of
One
where
becomes,
everything
think of like an arm with fingers. So you just came down the arm, and they're trapped at the end of each of the fingers.
wicked. I am going to chuck my jar of unstable explosive fluid.
Right where it all
Pump.
comes together. Absolutely. So so that's 1 plus an equipment. So that's 2 drives or any drives.
The drive.
Skills?
No drive.
The skills you got on.
Mayhem.
If you want, you could add 5 dice to
No,
what you roll.
I don't
But
need
you
it
can
that
only do it
bad.
once in the whole night. So
No, well, I can only chuck this jar once too. But
okay.
no, that's it. Just the.
So 3.
Let's do that. 3.
2 successes. Yeah, it's a glass tube that you just set off an explosive device at the weak spot of.
Cue maniacal laughter.
Part of it blasts back into you as standing in the sort of the wrist of this operation. but
Oh,
it
that's
just
the
blows your hair
fun
back,
bit.
Flips up your welding mask, so now it's upside down on top of your head.
Shoot him back like a fucking cannon.
Kind of,
Shoot out
you
of that
stumble
thing
back a
like
couple steps, but
shoot out of the entrance of that
end,
coelacanth.
the people at the end did not come out of this well. They're still pink, but it's kind of like a homogeneous sort of a mass at the end of each finger. And it's not really
Form of
people
paste.
anymore. It's just sort of, yeah, that's exactly the word I was looking for. At the end of each of these fingers, there is a fair amount of naked meat smeared into the end. Outside.
I
of
am the master of
exploded-
chaos.
Oh, you yelled out. You can't hear it because of the explosions got your ears ringing. You look around and realize that it's even worse outside this glass tube. Your explodey turned 30 feet of glass tunnel into shrapnel. There are animals stuck to the walls. There are animals walking missing a leg and not even knowing yet. It is a normal. Anybody but an orc would call this a horrible situation. But
I am the smartest orc of all time. My plan worked perfectly again.
and you hear behind you.
Oh fuck!
And you finally turn around and look behind you. And about halfway back to the street, this little dude about 3 feet tall, bald, wearing a little floppy-eared cap and a little plaid shirt. He looks up at you, and he's like 3 feet tall. He's got two huge swords on his back. They're each 6 feet long. They're twice as tall as he is. It looks like he's wobbling, like he can hardly stand up. And he looks at you. He says, "That was very brave."
Oh God.
Elmo Flood. Elmo Barbarian.
The fuck are you?
My name is Elric. Would you like a cursed sword? I have two.
No, my buddies, they're the ones that like to swordy things. I'm not much for those. I like shooting things.
Well, here, then, take them for them. And he reaches up. His suddenly impossibly long ape arms reach up and draw these two 6 foot long swords, and he's just holding them. Like, he turns them around, so he's handing you the handles. They are Stormbringer and Mournblade.
I'm good. No, thanks. I'm good. Go ask them. I'm busy.
I don't like you anymore. And he starts to pull them down. Like, he swings them around into, yep. This might not
Congratulations,
end well for you. What are you using?
You just pissed off a juicer, bro.
Oh man, the lodestone powered railgun's getting used this time.
Okay, so yeah.
Make sure. Chook. All the mask back
the
down.
Mask is down. That's okay. So you had one die just for attacking, one for the mask,
And one,
I'll give you
yeah,
that,
one for the railgun.
one for the railgun. Yep. Drives.
See if this thing fucking works.
Can I reasonably say to go fast? Would it be a drive? All right.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
I think we make him go so fast.
You try to run him over. This is a one shot now. I am an easy pushover tonight.
destructive invention.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you invent that uses speed and an immediate invention of something with what you've got on your person? And if you can tell me that, you can have 5 dice.
Let's see. I've got a welding torch, and I've got some. I've got a bag of heavy tools. I'm sure that I can figure something out with this torch and turn it into a flamethrower. Attach it to the lodestone powered railgun real quick.
And you have an over-under shotgun / a railgun /
Got a combi
flamethrower.
bolter.
Yes, yes. Scratch those things off of your equipment. One use of each of those things off of your equipment list, and roll 5 dice for me.
I'm gonna be able to do this.
Torch.
He's gonna do
Alice,
1,
yes.
2,
Plasma this, sorry.
4.
5. Oh, I
Three
didn't
of
take
these.
using the mayhem too, right?
If you use the mayhem, you can add up to 5 more once. The thing is, that suspicion pool doesn't disappear. So if you use it, I can still use it. That's just a number. So
You know what? I'm gonna leave the mayhem out.
okay. So
So you said 5.
Yep, 5 dice.
All right, let's do this.
3 successes.
I'll take 3. I'll take it.
You come after him with the flamethrower railgun. You shoot the railgun, and the one sword just goes ting and slaps it out of the way. You fire the flamethrower, the black sword Mornblade comes up and it just splits it, and it goes around him. And he reaches out and just touches you with the tip of Mornblade, just on the forehead, just dunk, and take 1 wound.
Ow!
You're
One,
not
so we
very
one.
good at this.
Okay, so we've obviously
You guys heard
explosion.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
heard
an
the
orc.
explosion for sure.
If there's an explosion, I'm an orc. I want to know what the fuck goes on.
So yeah, you guys are let's do one more. Let's Nick, hold up for just a second. I'm gonna go back. These guys are gonna get one more round before the explosion.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you guys are still both over at the Swordsman. The Swordsman's Guild. There's 5 of them left up on the thing, and they're starting to back away. They're not running, but they're not happy.
Okay. Well, I've got all sorts of shooting things. I can shoot stuff while and just full on Boromir one of these bitches.
I've run this once before, and suspicion got up to 9. So we're gonna see.
Dude, this is exactly the kind of game that was made for my player group back home. So
This is for anybody that is watching. I don't know if anybody is watching, but if anybody is watching, this is a great game for a bunch of friends that don't know how to roleplay, because it's just goofy, right? It doesn't matter. You can do this with children. Children love being orcs and wrecking stuff. Maybe don't do the meat at the end of the tunnels and the destroyed animals bit for them, but yeah. So the 2 of you, one more round. What are you doing?
I would like to scavenge an arm.
Off the ones that are already down. Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
What do you
right.
rip
I
one
want
off.
a
What would
fancy
you
hat.
find? What are you hoping to find?
I'm literally hoping just to find some human meat.
Some meat?
Yeah,
Yes.
just like they're kind of they're almost unconscious. They're just there. And
Yep.
You just like grab them by the arm and just rip off the arm.
Rip off the arm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely. You put your foot in their it doesn't want to come right at the start, but you put your foot in his chest and use both hands and pop. You feel the shoulder give, and then you pull again, and then the meat gives, and then you pull again, and the tendons give. And
All right, so
Yes.
whoever's
me,
got the fanciest hat.
I know you're only
sorry.
attacking the one guy, but what you're actually doing is attacking the morale of this group. So give me one die for the attack.
Can I do 1 dice for just being really tough?
Yes, absolutely. And what else have you got that might help you?
I've got several lengths of chain. I'm going to use one of those lengths of chain.
Oh, you
wrapped
create
around
like
him?
an orcish pulley system where you're the police.
Yes.
Set up the winch and just.
And I'd like to belch in his face as loudly as possible.
Have another one for that. So that's four.
Put that in shouting.
Yep. Oh yeah. A loud drunken belch in his face while you rip off his arm. Yeah. Give me 4.
Okay.
And he's not resisting. I just want to know how many successes you got. 1.
Oh, just 1.
Okay. It's not quite as heroic as it sounded when we first described it. It comes off, but there's a fair amount of cussing and swearing and adjusting of grip and him screaming and yelling, and you have to kind of twist it to get it loose first.
All right.
But I mean, he was already out of the fight. This one of the 5 that are left, you hear as you're doing this, you hear, and you turn, and one of them is just puking his guts out over the side of the railing.
Yes, and I'd like to look that one directly in the eyes as soon as the arm is done.
He comes back up,
And just like, and then he sees me eating the arm.
And he's like over the rail. He threw up so hard he actually went over the rail into it. So he's gone. He's out of the fight too. There's 4 of them left on the rail, sort of running into each other, trying to get away.
Yes.
I just got a very important question.
Yes.
Which one of them's got the fanciest hat?
Number 3.
Number 3? Is he still breathing?
Yes, there's 4 of them left. There's the one with
Well-
the fanciest hat is the leaders will never lead from the front in the
Oh.
real world. So yeah,
Oh, well,
their highest ranking dude and 3 of the other guys are backing away across the balcony.
I'm going to be shooting stuff for Boggle Car with my mud-anointed bow
Yep.
because I want that fucking hat.
Yep. So that's 3 already, just for you for doing it for Bog and thing. And you're using equipment too.
Yeah, I'm using the mud-anointed bow.
So that's 4. Yep.
Or,
And they get
come on, don't fail me now.
they do get some resistance still, although less than it was. Although I'm not technically sure if that's supposed to work that way, but it does here. 2 and 1. So yeah, one more. So yeah, you specifically said. So you you reach up and shoot. What is it? What weapon is it?
The mud-anointed bow.
Oh, the mud anointed. Okay, so yeah, off your. I mean, you're a hideous thing, right? I mean, you are just covered in slime and stuff. And you pull the bow off and pull it back, and it's dripping, and it smells bad. And you let it go, and like there's. And when you let the arrow go for a second, there's like the image of the arrow still there in mud after the arrow itself is gone, and then it collapses to the ground. That arrow flies across and goes right under the hat. You saved the hat. It was a close thing, but you shot him right in the eye under the hat, and he's stuck to
Take
the
that, you
wall now.
Ponzi human.
Yeah, he's stuck to the wall now. His feet are kind of kicking a little bit, but and the other 3 are just like, nope, and over the rail and running.
Yes. Take that, you.
Behind you, where you came in, you turn and there's a sparkling fireball because it's full of glass. There's this huge fireball sparkling in the sun, and you hear, I'm the greatest orc ever! And then the sounds of battle.
Well, Boggle Colorado would be mad at me if I didn't join the fight. Any good fight is a fight worth crumbling. So
Yes.
I'm
I
gonna
want to
fucking-
go in just to prove that he's not the greatest orc ever.
So the 2 of you turn and run back
I
inside.
spit it in you.
Back inside the zoo. He's still standing between you and the door. Wrench.
I've realized that one of the things that I am the best at is shooting stuff.
Yep.
The ability shooting stuff.
Yes.
How do I incorporate that into?
You just get an extra die every time you're shooting something.
Yep. All right. So
instead of 1, you get 2. Yep.
And yeah, and going fast. You know what? I'm going to bull rush him. I'm
There
gonna
it is.
just
I
drop
knew
my
it was
shoulder
coming.
in.
That's a drive, right? So that's 4. Yeah.
That's an ability is going fast.
Oh, okay.
Have an
so
ability of going fast
Right,
as
so
well
that's-
as the
Speedy
drive
guy.
to go fast.
So that's 5. Yep. If you actually can go fast.
Oh yeah. Well, if I
oh.
start running.
Oh, I don't usually do this, but yeah, you still got your flamethrower and you throw
Yeah.
it between your legs and ride it like a
Oh yeah,
powered broom.
The hobby, like a little hobby horse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coming down.
Done.
So you are going fast. That's 5 dice.
Dude, it's kind of scary because I was just about to say it.
Yeah.
So, how did
Please
that?
let this work. 'Cause I have
All right,
I'm
2
easy
go
plan to
fast. Shooting stuff.
So
No, I'm not
5
shooting stuff.
dices.
5 dices on a full-on bull rush. He poked me with that stabby bit.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh dear. He's only gonna burn that.
I
this time.
told you the luck of the Scots has me.
Okay, you rocket-powered best orc ever coming down the tunnel directly at him, and he, if he were an infantry division, he formed square. He just braced and held the swords out in front of him, and you ran right onto one. You take 2 more wounds. You run onto Stormbringer. It's the silver one, not the black one.
I'm not
I was
okay.
going to say, well,
I
that's
take it
gets.
back. You're actually very, very bad at this. And he's right in your face, and you smell now. It's close enough. He's drunker than you are. Like,
Okay,
it's
I'm
just-
gonna prove
like your,
that I'm better than
your
this guy.
orcish eyes that have been drinking for a week are starting to water with the amount of alcohol that's coming off this guy's breath.
Can I do this one? I think I have enough that I can get like 6 extra dice.
Oh, go
So-
for it, dude.
You guys rush through the door of the zoo, quickly comprehend how this zoo was supposed to work. It's inside out. It's destroyed. And just in front of you, this little tiny man with these 2 huge swords, on one of which is your drinking buddy. And behind him is just mayhem of the worst order. The hyenas have now gone into those tunnels. The surviving big cats are in there. The meat is being consumed. What would the 2 of you like to do as you charge through this gate?
I'm gonna pull out my enormous sword and
Yep.
using my suit of inch thick plate mail,
Yep.
just kind of to toughen myself up.
Yep.
So I can be. So I'm going to use those 2 items.
Mhm.
I'm going to use my ability of being tough.
Yep.
I'm going to use shouting and go, "You're not better than me."
Okay.
So right now that's been 3.
Is that 5? I think I counted 5 or 6.
Oh, that
Is
because
one of
the
those
enormous.
a drive?
No,
make it
those
6.
are both abilities. Those
Okay,
are
so
both
it's
abilities.
5.
However, I'm going to be using one more ability, which
Yep.
would put me up to about 4.
Yeah.
And then both of my drives,
So
because I'm just gonna hit him
this would be 10.
as
Nice.
hard as I can,
Yep.
and then just to prove that hitting things is a viable alternative to complicated plans, like
Yes.
you just tried.
Yep.
So I'm gonna show that I'm much more
So
much
yeah,
more effective than he is, and then
10
also by
D6.
fighting a powerful enemy champion,
Yep.
I get 1 there.
Yep. So is that
Downside is I
10
can't
or
use my
11,
drives
or
anymore.
did you get to?
Oh,
Let's do 11. I like 11.
Let's
11
do
is a
11.
funnier number than 10. 11 dice, please.
Oh, hold on. That's a good plan.
oh, that's a cunning plan as well.
That's dead good. I think
That's
Gork
well,
and
you
or
can,
more.
okay, so that's dead good. So you can re-roll if you wish.
Do I have to take the number that
You
re-rolls?
take the better of the 2. This is a one shot.
Cool.
Okay, so scratch that off. Scratch the one reuse
off.
off there. 6 successes. Okay. He gets 4 back. So yeah, you you step forward, and he's still got his swords out in front of him. You just run him through from behind. He tries to kind of dodge out of the way, but he's only 3 feet tall, and he doesn't do it. So you just drive the sword through him, and he takes 2 wounds. He looks at you for a second, looks back at Wrench on his sword, and says, "That's how you do it." Ouch.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn.
Yep.
Okay. So I've used up my dead good.
Yep.
Or I've used up one of them. So I've got
Yep.
2 apparently. I am going to spread the word of Bogal Choleric by pounding this motherfucker into paste. Okay, so hitting stuff with my ancient sword.
Okay, so your sword, and you're preaching at him as you do it.
Reaching at him.
In the name of Bug.
Alright, I'm gonna pound you to paste.
Pants falling down again.
Oh yeah, fuck.
So is that 4 or 5? 4, I think. I think you got there 4.
1 for skill, 1 for weapon.
So that's 3. And then a drive, right? So 5. Yeah.
Watch, this will be just about 4. Okay.
No, I'm gonna say that was a damn good plan. That's dead good.
Dead good plan? Yeah, give it again.
Good.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So we're at
Because that was
7.
pathetic. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's usually what happens when my guardsmen decide to go first rank fire, second rank fire, and get like 2 hits. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Jesus. Sweet mother of Mork, this is terrible.
Oh!
Oh
no.
Pounded. I fell on my own damn sword.
No, you step forward and miss, and without even looking, Stormbringer just comes around and takes your head clean off your neck.
That's okay, I wasn't using it anyways. Let's do
It
this.
goes up in the
Round
air.
2, let's go.
Comes back down.
Screaming profanities the
Somebody,
entire time.
one of the other 2, I'm going to give you a chance to roll a heal to slap his head back on his neck
All right.
and stitch it in place.
I'm going to.
Otherwise, he's going to have to roll a new character. He's going to have to roll a new character, and you'll have to meet him in the street because the first one's going to be dead.
All right. What
You only
I'm
got
going
5
to
wounds,
do.
and he took 6.
Can I do this? I have a terrible idea.
Yep.
I'm asking.
Oh yeah, if you got an idea, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to catch the head in the air.
Yep.
I'm going to kind of snort the kind of thing. Just spit onto the neck and just like, shove it back down onto the neck.
Okay.
Can
that
I
is
assist?
heal
That's
plus-
orky as fuck.
That is a cunning plan. I will give you the 2 dice for this cunning plan. Nobody else even has to remove this. So that's 3.
Is there like a mechanic for an assist? Because I feel like I could pull a staple gun out of my bag of tools.
But you can heal too. You're orcs. You don't help, but you can both try and fix them at the same time.
Sweet. I'm gonna try to staple it all
So
together.
you got a staple gun, so that's
Yeah.
healing plus a staple gun, so that's 2 dice. And you got, what did I say, 3? Each success gives him 1 hit point back. He needs 2 back total. If he
Okay.
gets 1 back, he'll be back alive, but he'll be at 0.
I'll click. I'll do 3 right now.
Oh.
Bam!
Holy shit!
So the
wow.
staple gun jams because they do.
Yeah, a lot.
So you're going thunk, 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 and you look in it, right in the face. Oh shit!
What the song?
But meanwhile, it turns out that orc spit is incredibly sticky, and yeah,
Especially when loaded with a bunch of
sort of
alcohol.
like this, like that's straight ahead. Now. Okay. Yeah, it's on crooked, but you have 3, so you got 3 back, so you only lost 3 wounds.
Wow. That's hilarious.
I've never seen
That was-
before.
I am
The 3 of you
mostly
are
fine.
surrounding him. He's run through and still laughing. Go.
Maybe I'm not the best orc ever.
Yes, Ox best orc. Ox strong. That make you think twice about leaving me a camp next time. Check.
Right, so my head's mostly on.
Yep, you're fine.
Sword's mostly broke.
You got hit points for days.
You say so. I don't have the fancy
You got
hat
2
because I
left.
forgot
How
to
many
grab
do you
it.
need? That's almost as many as you can count. How many do you need?
That's as much
Yeah,
as I
that's
got,
true.
man. We're good. We're good.
And to be clear, you can heal once per scene. So as soon as this fight is over, you guys can heal again, but only once per scene. So he's in front of you, still wounded, but not out of this fight by any stretch of the imagination. Elric Fudd stands before you. And I don't know if anybody gets the Elric reference and the Storm reference, the 2 blades. It's a Michael Moorcock fantasy series called Elric of Melniboné. He's the eternal champion. He's cursed with these 2 blades. But yeah, he does not look or sound like Elmer Fudd.
That's a force.
I'm going to do one last crazy thing.
Yep.
Which is I'm going to wrap the chain around my sword. I'm going to pull the sword out almost completely.
Yep.
Wrap chain around it, and then just drive it back through and just start sawing.
Literally going to chainsaw him.
Yes, I'm gonna keep that with hitting stuff.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And being tough.
Yep.
Because I am tough.
Yep. You are proving how tough you are. Absolutely.
Yes, and I'm
You're the
going
only one who
to,
hasn't
and I'm
taken
going
any
to
damage. Fuck.
and I'm going to belch as hot as I can into his
Yep.
ear.
Yep. So that's 5 again. Yeah.
That's 5. 3
3
successes.
successes. 1 success. So you do, the belch. You look at him, and his hat comes off, and you see the skin start to burn off of his scalp. And pretty soon, like you can see the bone. There's an area about this big where you've actually belched the skin off the top of his skull, and then that plus you also hit him with your sword.
Impressive.
I made a
Started
small
sawing him with the chainsaw sword.
I made a small mistake. Can I fix it?
Yep.
Yes. He's still a powerful opponent. I'm gonna use that as my drive.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So I just need to roll 2 more.
Yeah, roll 2 more. Absolutely.
Didn't
Yeah,
make
didn't
any
matter.
difference.
He's not that driven. He's not that powerful anymore. The start of the fight, but yeah, not now. He is bad right now. Like you sawed off you're most of the way through an arm. He's dropped Stormbringer. He's still got Mournblade in one hand, but he's dropped Stormbringer, and he's wobbling now, and his skull is visible. Even that's starting to, like, you can tell it's starting to get soft, like it's been soaked in acid. The other 2 of you are still there.
Shit.
I'm gonna walk up and just thump him in the head.
Okay.
I was thinking of taking his sword and crumping him like that.
And man, go nuts, do it.
Yeah,
So,
fuck.
okay.
All right, so I pick up Stormbringer, so I guess that's a scavenge. 'Cause I
Yep.
haven't actually done any scavenge.
Yep. So
Scavenge point, really
yeah,
never-
but just
There
where
was
it says
explosions.
scavenge, just the top one. So you can only use this twice during this adventure. But yeah.
So I'm gonna hit him with it. So I got hit and stuff him for WAAAARRRGGHHH.
Yep.
And I'm extremely pissed. So I'm gonna prove that WAAAAARRRGGHHH is superior.
Yep.
To the other gods.
Yep.
And hit whatever gods he fucking.
So
I'll bring you a storm, you soggy little git.
So that is 6. As you swing, you hear the sword say in your head, "Lovely. I hated that little shit since the day we met." And you strike into him. Go ahead and roll 6 dice.
There you go.
Or
Oh, come on.
come on.
Blade comes out of Wrench's chest and snaps around again, apparently without his knowledge, and slaps Stormbringer not out of your hand, but away from the strike. And you hear Mournblade say to Stormbringer, "Not on my watch, asshole."
I start swearing at Martin. You fucking get. You think you is. That was a good shot.
And you hear the 2 swords. You can hear them both now in your head. They're arguing like an old married couple. The 2 swords in your head. "I want to hit him." "No, you can't hit him." "Yeah, I want to hit him." Don't hit him. And it's just constant in your head. But you take you take 1 wound.
Ooh,
So you're
my
back down to, I
turn.
think, 1 or 2. Yeah.
Pretty crumped
Wrench.
at this point. I got like
Oh,
one
at
left.
least the sword's out of your ribs.
I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna walk up behind him, and I'm gonna take I don't know, like a big ass hammer out of my
Yep.
bag of heavy tools,
Yep.
and just
Yep.
smash him in the top of the head.
Oh.
with it.
So mad.
So that's 1, 2. Let's do 4. And he's wounded, so he's not doing his full value either. Oh. 2. Yep. Yeah. You. Well, you tell me. How does his life come to a sudden dramatic end?
Just hammer smash. Kind of funny because it is hammer and all. Just drop it right into his skull, and like the whole head of the hammer just kind of disappears into
Just the handle sticking out just below his eye socket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
It's easy
second
with a
sword
soft stick.
clatters to the ground. Ting, 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 ting. And he just falls backwards, and the hammer just stays in your hand as he falls off the end of it and falls back just on the ground.
I would
So
like
you've
to
got
pick up
Stormbringer.
Mournblade.
And you cannot put it down until it's used up. You can't put it down. It's cursed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There's at least
Mournblade
one
is
more
still
bit
laying
is
on the
crumpled.
ground.
I think Nick deserves that one. I think Wrench
Yeah.
gets that.
I don't care for the stabby bits.
Well, then,
You can have
Then
it.
I am definitely taking it because I dealt almost all the damage.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, you can have Mournblade. Put those Stormbringer and Mournblade. Put them in scavenge. You get to use them twice each before they will.
I get to use it 3 times because I used an arm as scavenge.
Oh yes, that's right. You scavenged something already. So you
Planned
can
this out.
well, wouldn't I technically still have Stormbringer because I'm the one who grabbed it?
Yep. Yeah. You have it. He's got Mournblade.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. On our way past the Swordmaster skills, I'm assuming we're going to go to the palace. I'm going to grab that hat. That's it.
yeah, on the way back. Yeah. So you guys are heading back in that direction then?
Or I think we should go because
I give them
And we're
both
supposed
pats
to-
on the back to try and heal them up.
Yeah.
Like I spit into my hands.
This is
it worked last time.
Just spit on my own wounds and just kind of like
Yeah,
rub it in.
Standing around spitting on each other and rubbing it into your wounds.
Let's see here.
So go ahead and
That's,
give me heal rolls. Nobody rolled the shaman, right? Yeah. So
no.
there is a shaman. His name is Moondoof.
Just is it just? I'm guessing it's just one.
Yep. If you don't have any special skills, roll 1 die.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this. I don't think a Bog Alcara can help me on this one.
Yep. There you get 1. So yep.
I will take it.
Yeah, no.
Now I'm just
Bog
bashed.
Alcara will not assist me.
No. Bogakar thinks
He
you
wants
should have
the
been
crumpet.
You should have been good enough not to get hurt in the first place. Never mind.
Not the
you lose your
uncrumping.
head.
No.
I
He's
have
very
idea.
disappointed.
So you get 1 then, Bison.
I do?
Yep.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
gets
tried.
one.
I didn't get
You
it.
always get 1.
I got a 0.
Oh, you guys
I got a
okay?
3,
So it didn't
so-
work. Yeah.
Yeah, Bog Alcara.
It's well, that makes sense because it's hard to spit in your own neck.
It's more of just sort of letting it dribble down your chin.
Yeah.
It's kind of like trying to lick your own elbow.
And,
Just...
Ox
did
is
you heal?
fucking.
Or do you need to heal?
Nothing
Or do
needs
you want to
to.
heal one of them? Or you
Oh,
tried,
I
right?
can.
Right. Never mind. So
I
yeah,
really want to go
give us that roll.
to
Wait,
the
roll,
Machinist's
yes.
Guild.
Do I roll once
Yep.
or
If you don't
twice
have,
for
if
both
you
of
can't
them?
think of any, roll 1 for each of them. What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Grant
it,
can at me if he
it would
doesn't
still
like what I
be
do to his rules.
it would still be hitting stuff because I'm like slamming them on the back.
Sure. Yeah, you gotta slap them better.
So I'm
Or-
counting
that's-
that. I'm
that's
counting
orc.
that
That's
for my
orc all
2.
over. Yeah.
There you go,
No
coach.
successes.
Oh,
No successes. So yeah, you guys get boom, boom, and he's rubbing spit into you and looking very serious.
now I'm
There's
slightly
nothing
more
wrong.
damp than I was before.
Yeah.
Only slightly though, not enough to lose a point.
Yeah. No.
So, one of you suggested going back to the Swordsmasters Guild. The other one wants to go to the Guild of Machinists.
Yes.
It's a direction.
Well, it's on the way. I mean, the Swordmasters Guild's on the way, so we could go.
Yep, absolutely easy enough.
I'm all
Well, I
for
need my
that.
fancy hat, so.
Yeah, this whole area is, I mean, it's empty. People are gone. Interestingly,
It smells
no
vaguely of
guards
piss.
have shown up. None of the city guards have shown up. And nobody's challenged you directly yet. And
Oh,
this
crap,
whole
this town
area
doesn't have any
is
money.
just empty. As you're
That
at the
smells like a
Swordmasters Guild
fucking-
picking up your hat, so scavenge a helmet.
Okay, I've got fancy hat.
Yeah, fancy hat, perfect. You figure out how you're going to use that 3 times, and we'll figure out how to get
I
that
will
next.
figure something out.
Yep.
It's gonna be hilarious.
You look down the street now that you've been here, and at the far end where it says Haberdasher Road, there is one person. One tall, thin, very elegantly dressed elf standing in front of one of his stores with a tall top hat on. And he goes,
Yeah, I give him one back. My hat's better than yours. Eats shit, you punsy-eared elf.
and he gives you a big, deep, fakely respectful bow and goes back inside his store.
He's a fucking kid anyway.
Just to your
Let's
north,
go
you guys
find
can see the
some-
bridge. Yeah, heading
Let's
across
find
the
something
river.
cranky.
At the far side of the bridge, there is a patrol of soldiers.
Oh, corpses.
It would appear that the city guard has hopefully had cordoned you off, hoping that you would leave after whatever you wanted to do in this corner of town, but you haven't. So they are going to try and make a stand at the bridge.
I'm just gonna say, for like out of character here, we are totally going the wrong way if we're trying to steal some
you're trying to get
bitch's
to the Great
fucking
Palace,
unicorn
yeah.
in the palace.
You know what? You're going to the wharf side. There's probably a boat. Anything is possible. But
Put a wrench with
I
us.
just looked at the clock, and we've been at this for an hour and 15 minutes. So why don't we take a quick 15-minute break till the top of the hour, and
Yep.
we will come back and assault the bridge, go do horrible things to the Guild of Machinists, and see what happens from there. You guys haven't got long. You're sobering up. So
Oh shit! Yeah, fuck. I got more beers in there.
with that, we will be back in about 15 minutes. We'll see you then, and And we are back. Our break has been taken, and unfortunately, to an unpreventable circumstance, we have lost one of our players. So, with no further ado, let us hurl ourselves back into the second part of this adventure with said player, the Ox, looking across the bridge at the soldiers on the far side, looking at the two of you and going, "I have cunning plan." And he runs across the bridge and scoops up all 8 of them in a big giant bear hug, locks his hands together, and says, "We go in swimming." And he jumps into the river with all of them. He's wearing a tremendous amount of armor. There is no way he's coming back up. But neither are they. And I want to roll it just because. Because he's using his, that's 2 for the drive, 3 for equipment, and 7 for the suspicion pool. So he's going to roll 11 dice. 6 successes, and there was 8 of them, so they roll 4 dice. 3 successes, yeah. He has dragged them all off into the water. The ones that didn't go into the river with him are fleeing the scene, heading northwards. But the party...
Havoc will see you in the afterlife.
There's only 2 of you, and you know what that means. More beer each. But first, you need to go get that damn...
I need to get stuff.
Rainbow Pegasus unicorn. I wanted to make sure I got that right. So yes, you guys step across the bridge into... To your left is the Grand Bazaar, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It is grand and it is bizarre, because every stall is exactly the same. It's a little green box, all uniform green inside, and standing inside each box, like they're, 10 feet square, but inside each one is a human wearing a white t-shirt, white pants, white shoes, white socks. He's got really short blonde hair, and he's holding up an orange cloth. They are all holding up the exact same cloth and exhorting you at the top of their lungs to buy their slam wows. They're all
I'm gonna hang a right.
A hard right.
Yeah. Just to the north, as you turn, there's the Grand Bazaar. Directly north of you is the Dwarven District, and in that area you can hear the sounds of a band, even though it's early morning, and it's like a metal band.
What
To your
is
right is the
that
Guild of
wondrous?
Machinists. There's 3 square blocks of...
I'm going that way.
I'm
I'm
all
going to
pretty
go
good
nick
about
me
that.
some awesome technology things.
If there's metal, there's gonna be beer. I think I'm heading towards the Dwarven District.
Okay, let's split the party. I love it. There's only 2 of you. Profanius heads north.
Come on.
Move the party over there. Oh, you already did it. Look, you guys are moving shit already. Like, you know what you're doing. Go away. Wrench, you head to the Guild of Machinists. And your Togan is just parked out in the river. All right. Because it's a shorter distance, you get to the mechanists first. Machinists. There's like 2 square blocks along the river. There's a great big series of water wheels that are being spun by the river. And each of them is powering each of these buildings. There's steam and smoke and banging and clanging and forging sounds and sparks and the occasional scream of agony.
Oops.
Somebody steps in
Ouch.
front of something they shouldn't have, or picked up something they shouldn't have. Ow, it burns!
Same condition as act.
Oops and ouch.
So you look at, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for stuffs that I can make into neat contraptions. Maybe bigger shooty things. Maybe some sort of explodey thing. I definitely want explodey things.
Explodey, we can do explodey. Yeah, you start walking along, looking at in each building as you pass by. You're just about to give up when, towards the north part, almost at the wharf, there's, just as you're about halfway, sort of here, about a block and a half ahead of you, there is an explosion. Just whoomp. It's not a big fireball, it's just whoomp. And you see this little tiny shed just evaporate.
I get like the craziest case of goosebumps. and head in that direction.
You start running in that direction. You see a couple of people on fire come running across the dock and hurl themselves into the river. One guy's trying to stop, drop, and roll, but he's rolling in tar, so it's not it's not helping. It's getting worse.
It's making it worse.
Yep. And meanwhile, so you're heading that way. And meanwhile, up at the in the Dwarven district, you storm into the Dwarven district. Now you're even more of a behemoth here, because you're pushing 9 feet square, and they're all like waist height. There is a bash going on. Like it's like Dwarven carnival. There's topless dwarves, male and female. They're all wearing kilts, and you are getting flashed everywhere you look. Everybody's got 2 steins in their hands. They're just hammered. And it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
I found my people.
And they're reaching up towards you with beers. Just, not even speaking.
I'm exactly where I need to be. I start getting drunk.
So you're
this entire thing was because of booze. I'm fucking here.
Yeah,
it's paradise.
You hear a couple blocks away. And you
Whatever.
To yourself, oh, he's probably happy.
He's having a good time. I got beer.
So you sit down at a table. The chair breaks. You hit the floor. Everybody laughs, but you're at the right height anyway because it's a dwarf height table. So you just sit on the ground, and they're just putting beers in front of you. They're trying to get you to pass out. Like there's, as fast as you can drink them, there's more of them piling up in front of you. And you're just, I'm an orky. You're just orking them back by the handful. Meanwhile, at the exploding shed, you step up to the sign of the site of the wreckage. And this, unbelievably, there's this little, it's a chamber pot upside down, a little brass chamber pot upside down on the ground, right in the middle of this place that blew up. And you see one little edge of it come up, a couple little blackened fingers come out, the other little fingers come out, and it lifts up and looks up, and this little gnome looks up at you and says, oops.
Just like, there's just this huge grin on my face, like, do it again.
Okay, duck. And he reaches back inside the pot for something. The pot clangs down around, ding, 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 and then this hand comes out holding this little black ball, and it's smoking. And then he drops it, and the hand goes back inside the pot. You're like 10 feet away from it. It's going
somewhere. Throw it in a random direction.
I just want to punt it.
Punt it? Okay.
Oh, towards the Grand Bazaar, please.
Okay. Give me, there's no equipment or skills or drives or cunning plans that's going to help. This just roll one die. Let's have a look. Do
you hit it or not?
You punt it. And it's going towards the Grand Bazaar, but then it's like, you know when you spiral a football, it curves? And it's like you sliced it. This is the metaphor I'm looking for. Like you were golfing and you sliced it. It's heading towards the Grand Bazaar, and you watch it curve up and to the right, and it's heading around directly
exactly
towards
where
the
it's going.
District. And you watch it disappear behind some buildings, and you hear whoomp.
So back to me.
Back to you. You are sitting. There's a beer in each hand, but the one in your left hand is only a handle. Like the bottles, the jug's gone. You just got the handle. This one's still got beer in it. But the table's gone. The dwarves are gone. The tent's gone. The beer truck's gone. Half a block is just gone. You're just sitting in the middle of this black smoking wreckage, hammered.
Well,
Back at under the bronze pot, you hear that was a good one.
Oh, I need me a couple of those.
What do I get for it?
I'll give him my blowtorch.
And you put it down, and the pot just skitters over across the floor, and his hand comes up and grabs it and pulls it. It shouldn't fit. Like, it's a great big flamethrower, but it's like Snoopy's doghouse. It just keeps going in, like a clown car in reverse. The whole thing goes in with the backpack and the flame and everything else. And then it lifts up again, and what's the next thing on your scavenge? How many of it can you use?
I haven't scavenged anything yet.
Scavenged anything. 2 of these roll out.
Bombs.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Then you pick them up and start to wonder what I should do with these. And the brass pot, you see a little hole melt in one side, and then the torch comes out, and it turns into a bright blue flame like you could never get it to do, like a proper ox or acetylene chick, and this thing takes off just across the ground like a motorized turtle, just down the street. And all you can hear is
I'm just like,
yep, and it's heading towards the gnomish quarter.
fucking gnomes.
all right. I'm gonna go find my friend.
You knew he was heading towards the dwarven district.
Yeah.
So you make your way over there, and you find him shaking his head a little bit, sitting in the middle of the wreckage. I'm just going to put you guys out here because you're back together. I'm just going to use the single token for it again.
No more drinking.
So yeah, you look around, and this block's blowing up, but the rest of the district is fine.
Is there still party?
There is still a party. In fact, there's still music in the next block over. The band never stops.
Sweet. All right, let's go get some. I need some drinks too. Then I want to go back to the guild machinists because I have an idea to get us into the palace.
You hand him the handle. Yeah. You kind of one eye kind of wrinkled shut. There's like shattered glass in your forehead and all stuck.
What happened to you?
I had some beer.
Your head has slid slightly off to one side. Is the spit's drying out? So it's slightly not centered anymore. And
you look like you have some fun.
The band is playing down the street. That seems to be where the rest of the party is. Amazingly, it's a block away, and it doesn't seem to be at all affected by the elimination of a city block. They're still partying.
Words, right? Or I heard something about a pony.
So you guys are heading towards the bar, the music? Or are you going to you said you had a plan to get to the palace.
Yeah, I have a plan to get to the palace, but first I need a couple drinks because I'm getting sober.
Great.
So yeah, you guys stumble in the direction of, it's wherever the party is, so that's where the beer is going to be. You get there, and again, they're just, like, you're literally twice their height, but they don't care. They're just, you're drinking with them, you're having a good time.
It's Oktoberfest all the year long.
Exactly, it's Oktoberfest. Everybody's German during Oktoberfest. And there is a band playing. You see the sign hanging above the door. The band is called Freiwillig. And you can hear it coming out. There's some fairly nasty metal. You hear a little bit, sort of a verse of one song, and it's a dwarf singing it. And in fact, when you look inside, the band is 4 dwarfs up on the stage, all with no shirts on. They're wearing kilts that are yellow and black tartan and Doc Marten combat boots, and they're doing the Running Man while they're singing. But you hear, "I'm really awful when it comes to dancing, and folks mock me when I walk. But when it comes to being smug and entrancing, it turns out I can really fucking talk." And then they dance for a bit, and then he jumps back up and screams again. "I speak to you of speaking, and that really says a lot. It talks of talking about talking before I start to lose the plot." And then he just starts to dance again, and you guys are it continues on in that vein, and you guys get just shit-faced as long as you want to stay here and drink. This festival lasts for days.
I'm gonna hang around for a bit till I get that guild, and That's my
I'm
treasure
kind of-
trove. I can't.
I'm kind of lost in the booze at this point
Yep.
because that was the entire point, was to get fucked. So I'm pretty much loser pissed.
Okay, so I'll just grab him and I'll drag him with me. I'm like, come help me with something. And
Okay.
drag him back over to the Guild of Machinists.
You guys find
crater of
a
machinists?
small cart with a keg on it, and you can.
Oh,
take
that's
it.
coming.
fuck off,
That's
that's
coming
mine.
with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming with us for
Fuck
sure.
off. That's fine.
That's just a GM present. Have that. You have a cart filled with a full keg of beer on it to get your way. So where are you going?
Going back down south
go
of the
here.
Machinist Guild.
Okay. So you
I-
pack into the thing and just
Yeah.
drag in the cart. Yeah.
I have a drive to nick some awesome technology.
Okay. As you step out into the area, the first thing that happens is this little chamber pot goes blowing past you at high speed.
What in the name of Boggle Karo was that?
I have a great idea. I just saw that happen, and that gave me the greatest idea ever. I know how we're going to get to the palace.
Fuck off. I know exactly what you're doing.
We're going to do it from here. All we need is lots of fire.
And you look
And-
across the bay, and there stands the palace. And I mean, you guys are both in armies. You've seen siege engines work before.
Yeah.
You could get over those walls from here. It'd be a bitch of a landing, but you could get over those walls from here with enough boom.
Anything can be launched once. I'm
Yep.
surprised your suspicion pool hasn't gone up. Just,
Oh, I'm sure it has. I just haven't changed it since we came.
yeah, I'm just gonna say we blew up an entire city block by
Yeah,
accident.
yeah, you're right. That's probably worth 2. That's
All right. Hey ho, let's go.
so. You have
Get in this thing.
a machinist laboratory after machinist laboratory after machinist laboratory.
We
at
have
your
so
disposal.
many bits. You know
I-
what to do with yourself.
I am going to try to cobble us up some
Yep.
some back-mounted rockets.
So that's
We stone
that
boys.
Oh, tell me all the things that you're using: skills, equipments, drives.
Yeah, I got the bag of heavy tools, I got the welding mask. I'm gonna go scavenge because I'm sure I can find another torch of some
Oh, yeah.
kind.
Yeah, I'll just give
So-
you.
That is
Just give you a +1
absolutely
for
dead
whatever you
good in
find,
the
yeah.
eyes of Boggle Karo, so he's getting my my last bonus somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
I got
that's
the
some-
drive
that's
to go
some fucking amazing
fast,
shit.
so I really want to build
Oh,
something
yeah,
fast.
yeah,
Let's go with
rocket
that.
powered is fast.
Yeah. If I have to, I've got a couple of bombs that I can scavenge the
Oh, I
bombs for
figured at least
fuel.
one of those will be used. Yeah, so that's
Yeah, you can
one of
split
those
one up.
and
We
take
got
it.
some
That gives you
nitro.
7 dice.
Cutting plan, mayhem, destructive invention.
Sure. So 9, 10, 11. Yeah, roll 11.
I told him
dice
it
for
was
me.
dead good. That's my last.
If you
dead
if you
good.
screw it up, you got a dead good. So
All right. Yeah.
11 dice.
Yep.
This is awesome.
Yep. Let's do it.
I'm not even going to roll against you. I just want to
Oh,
see how well
my.
you do. Oh, okay. So you're just about to set off the explosion, and the little pot skids to a stop and looks up and says, "Nope," and races off again. And you start looking around and fix it and roll
Oh,
again.
there's my dead kid. Oh,
That's a
come
little better.
on.
A little bit better.
So the two of you, it's not so much a jetpack as it is an explodey thing that you sit on and it launches you. So you kind of you make these
Yeah.
little sort
Floating
of inverted
chair that
cups
just
with
yours.
a chair on it, and you put one of the bombs underneath it, and the two of you just
That's
across
orky
the
as
bay,
fuck.
flame shooting out behind you, tin pots flying in 2 directions as the two of you hurtle through the air screaming. One of you holding the keg. I'm assuming you took the keg.
That's me.
Yeah.
I scavenged the keg. He's still got scavengers left.
And you guys hurtle. And I mean hurtle over the walls. The guards are like, "Hey!" As you land in the central courtyard in the middle of a royal ball.
Ta-da!
Everybody for 500 miles in every direction is here in their silk and their satin and their lace, and they've got their servants and their help, and you killed about 30 of them with the landing. Just
Drop pods.
Get up and dust myself off. That was fun.
Ta-da!
and everybody's running
And
in every direction.
once again, I am the smartest orc of all time.
And you hear, and you look up, the two of you, as you stand up, and all around you on the battlements, there's at least a dozen guards cranking crossbow.
Okay, I think now is about the time for the Dark Blessing of WAAAARRRGGHHH to show up. That would be
Okay.
mayhem. Okay, the Dark
What does this look-
Miracle,
what does it- tell me how
God
this
of
looks.
Mud and Poop, new sector, and parsnips. Oh shit, I've got a fucking parsnip.
Yep. That is a
Where's
magical
the
parsnip,
prince?
sir.
That is a sacred parsnip
It
of
is.
WAAAARRRGGHH. I am
Yep.
going to throw that motherfucker at the prince, wherever the shit he happens to be.
Yep. So you're throwing it where? At the
I'm throwing it at the Prince of Freiburg, the owner of
the guy. Okay, so yeah, the main sort of the head table. Yep,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's gonna go probably for hitting stuff and maybe being cruel. I don't know how big this parsnip is. I'm
How
assuming
big
it's
do
pretty
you want it
sizable.
to be? It is a sacred parsnip
Oh,
of your
fuck.
god.
I'm talking like Super Mario 2. The big
Oh, yeah.
ones.
Wait, this is
Yeah, the one that has the full-on fucking
person
face.
crushing sized parsnip.
Yeah, it's got an angry face on it. and
Yeah,
it's
you
gonna be
throw it,
tough.
it just gets bigger as it goes.
Yeah, exactly. So for the Dark Miracle, oh fuck. There goes my Dark Miracle. Oh
So
shit.
how many dice does this work out to?
That's gonna be 9.
9
Just
dice.
on-
Okay.
Just on the Dark Miracle with. Oh, I'm gonna be. I don't know if that would really count as spreading the word of WAAAARRRGGHH.
It is if
but-
you yell for the greater good of WAAAAARRRGGHH when you do it.
Oh, I certainly will then. So that's 9. That's 10. Being cruel is 11.
Okay.
Hitting stuff is actually, would it be hitting or shooting? Either way, I'm getting
Either
some
way.
extra
You're
stuff.
hitting. You're gonna hit
Yeah.
stuff.
Someone's gonna get smoked in the face.
Yep.
Fuck, I still have Stormbringer fancy hat and here. I don't know how I'm gonna throw this into the Dark Miracle.
You could throw it, sure. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, why not? That's 13.
Well, I'm still figuring out what I'm gonna throw here and who's getting thrown at what. So Stormbringer probably. I think I'm just gonna fucking chuck that at the poor bastards up on the
Okay.
top of the. Yeah, those guys are gonna get a sword thrown at
They're
them.
getting the sword and
The fancy hat is going right on my
parsnip
head.
And the sword and the yeah,
I'm
you're
just
wearing
throwing
your
stuff
fancy
to everybody.
hat.
Yeah.
Give me because of the fancy. I forgot about the fancy hat. Give me 14 dice, please,
Right. This is
without using mayhem. 14.
without
dice.
me using mayhem. I get 14 dice.
Oh, if you use mayhem, you'd get 23.
23. Like the thing is, looking at the Dark Miracle is kind of like the shit show. We're
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
you don't need it. I mean, like I said, you're rolling 13.
I'm
They're
pulling
rolling
14
6.
dice. I'm gonna save the Dark Miracle for now. I don't know how that's gonna throw itself out. and stuff.
5 successes.
Oh, it's okay.
They rolled 1. Okay.
So
yeah,
the fucking rutabaga
The
in the
sword
face.
first, because that one's easy. You just throw Stormbringer straight up in the air, and it rises to the level where they all are around the parapets, and it just hangs there for a second, and you just see these little black tendrils just suck out of each one of them, just into the sword. They all just drop dead, and the sword drops back down and sticks in the ground beside you. At the same time, the parsnip lands at the head table. And as like I said, when you threw it, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as it went. So by the time it gets to the table, it's the length of the table. And you, in a single blow, wipe out 4 generations of the current ruling family. With
Was the orkiest shit ever.
parsnip. Just And then it does that thing where it rolls around and gets the last one, the last uncle that was hobbling away, and the parsnip rolls around on its axis and
I'm just standing there going,
and all that's left around you
Boggle is best.
yeah. And all around the perimeter of this open area now is just all the guests just cowering against the wall. The smell of
Which one of you it?
confuses the air.
In my loudest voice, which of you in the name of Boggle has the magic pony?
You hear over in the corner, you hear, and you turn over and there's this little guy pushing open a gate, and behind him in the darkness you can see these little sparkles, and you can just tell that these sparkles that are coming off the horn of a freaking rainbow Pegasus unicorn that's still in the darkness.
Well, I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm going to grab that little fucker by the horn and drag him out into the open.
Okay, grab him. Tell me how many dice are you gonna convince
All
me?
right, that's going to be being cruel because I'm obviously kind of being.
So one way to rave, one for that's a drive, right? So that's 2 for being cruel.
Being cruel is a skill.
A skill, okay, so that's 1.
Yeah. Would hitting stuff count because I'm being a jerk
Oh
about
yeah,
it?
and you're trying to grab it, so sure.
I've already used up my drives.
Yep.
So, yeah, so that's being cruel, hitting stuff, and that's pretty much it.
That's all you got left.
Sadly all I've got. I've been
So give me
pretty
3.
I've been pretty liberal with my my bonuses.
yeah, man, it's a one shot.
Yeah, what the fuck? Who cares? 3, not 30.
Many.
Made that mistake better. So I got it.
Okay.
1.
I'm going to tell you what happens before I roll. Then I'm going to roll. You reach into the darkness and grab this horn, and it's only like 2.5 feet off the ground. Like, this thing must be tiny. And you start to pull it towards the light, and it starts to come at you. And you realize that, yeah, it might only be 2.5 feet tall, but this thing's coming like a fucking train. And it just rams into your chest.
Oh shit. I'm probably gonna
You take 3 wounds.
I'm
which
dead.
I believe puts you at 0 or at -1?
Oh, like -2.
-2. Okay.
I only had 1 wound.
I will give you 1 more. We did this once, so there's a precedent for it. Give me a heal roll.
Yeah,
You have
so 1 roll.
you have 1 exploding device left, and if you can figure out a way to use that to heal him, I will give you.
Fuck
5
off.
dice for that.
I got this, yo. I'm gonna crack it open and sprinkle the insides on them.
Oh,
Cauterize
sort
the
of
wounds.
Cauterize the. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Give me 6 dice. The 5 I promised you, plus the 1 for healing.
Yeah, because I like. Shit the bed on that one.
There we go.
And you
One?
get 3 back, so you're back to 1.
Yeah.
And you look down.
I've been
and
at
this
that
2.5
since the
foot. Well, let me tell this from the other point of view. What you see is him reach in, grab this horn 2.5 feet off the ground. Suddenly, this thing just runs into him, takes him all the way across the courtyard, and smashes into the wall on the other side of the courtyard, where its head goes into his chest, like to the neck. And you run over, and pull it out. And as you do, his ribs kind of pop back into position, amazingly, luckily. And he is not as dead as he looked a second ago. But you have this squirming maniac in your hands.
Why were we getting this thing again?
For beer money! Ow!
Oh, the keg's broken. In that trip across the
Oh,
he broke
mother.
the keg, too.
Fucker.
I'm just gonna pick it up off the ground, hold it over my head.
Okay.
We're gonna carry it out of here.
So skills and
The keg
equipment.
or the
Tell me how
pony?
many dice.
Keg or the pony, dude?
The pony. I don't care about the keg. Grabbing the pony.
Broken.
I don't really have anything that would
Moving fast.
Try to pick it up with one
Yeah.
hand and trying to. Okay, roll one die for me.
Okay, and my keg of beer is gone.
There we go.
Oh dear. Half as many.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
You lift it up and it reaches down and bites your wrist. Just like horse teeth bite, just starts ripping the shit out of you. You take 2 wounds. Are you still up?
I'm still up, but I'm bad. I'm mangled.
This thing is gone, like the eyes are red and rolled back in its skull. There's heat rolling off of it.
All right, Nick. I'm thinking it's mayhem time. I'm thinking I'm thinking Boggle Colorado needs to like intervene here so we can get some beer money.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck your mayhem is, but I think it's shit show time.
All right. You just want.
So, you can both use it in the same turn. You can each use it once.
Oh fuck me.
So, who wants to tell me first what they're doing? And remember,
Oh, no,
make this
I got nothing
ridiculous
left.
because this is whatever you can come up with plus 9. No, you know what? No. Let's make this 10 dice. Let's make the suspicion 10 dice because this we broke some limits tonight. So let's make that the suspicion pool 10,
Okay.
which is a new record.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I am going to smoke that motherfucker in the face with the sacred parsnip of Boggle Colorado.
Yep.
Because that little bastard deserves it for starters. So that's hitting stuff, being
So yeah,
cruel.
I just made your image nice and big so everybody can actually see what you look like.
Yep.
That's you.
So I'm hitting stuff. I'm being cruel because who hits a fucking unicorn parsnip?
It's especially tiny,
Let
like
alone a
baby
sacred
unicorn.
parsnip. Yeah, like I'm an 8 foot tall fucking rectangle.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit somebody hard.
What else can you add up for me?
So this is my dark miracle. So that's 9 or 10 by itself. I'm hitting stuff. I'm being cruel. I'm using the sacred parsnip. That's an extra 3. Yeah, 1 die each.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go along, I'm using Stormbringer, so I think that should count for an
Yep.
extra
Oh yeah,
one.
we'll give you another one for Stormbreaker. Absolutely.
Yep. I may be running out of hands, but I'm going to use the ancient sword for my last use to make sure that the bastard.
Absolutely.
Is with
Hands
me.
is not an issue. Orcs can't
Hands
count
is
to
not
3.
an
They don't
issue.
know they haven't got that many hands. It's not a problem. So how many did you end up with?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm using 10, so that's 13. My cunning plan. Oh, shit. This is my cunning plan. I am basically intimidating and scaring this fucking pony.
Sure. Give me 2 more for
He
that.
doesn't-
too,
And if he doesn't come with us, I'm hitting him with that fucking
yeah. So
parsnip.
give me all those dice.
That's like 50.
Give me 15.
Oh. I can play him stoking.
He's burning his entire pool. Try and save
Yeah,
himself.
I'm just go for the
5.
6.
So all of that, everything
He's
that you
being
did,
mates.
and he's just like you have to eventually. Nothing else seems to work. Everything else you tried, eventually you just grabbed a parsnip by the greens and just start pounding this thing with the holy parsnip, and that's the only thing that does 1 wound of damage to it.
Know your place, trash.
So, Wrench.
We get out of here.
He's lost his shit completely. He's beaten up He's beating up your beer money with a parsnip.
Yeah, but I
Only
just
have
saw
to
what it
flog
did
him
to
for
him,
money.
so I really
Yep.
don't mind. I totally get it. If that thing had done that to me, I'd be doing the same thing. I'm all good with this. He don't need to be alive for us to have the beer money, does he?
I don't remember.
It might
Sure.
be slightly less. I mean, it wasn't like a dead or alive poster. This wasn't a well thought out plan. I'm sure somebody'd pay you for a corpse of a rainbow Pegasus unicorn.
I'm sure the
Freedom
bits
yeah,
are
A
used for
surviving
something.
member of a royal family.
I'm gonna shoot him with the electro lodestone powered railgun.
All right, add this up for me. I'm assuming you're mayheming it as well, right?
I used my mayhem already.
Okay. That's all right. So did it.
That's how we
So-
got into the castle in the first place.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
that's right.
So skills and equipment.
Large
You
explosion.
got one just for doing it.
Oh, I know. I don't have the explosive anymore.
One for the gun, right?
Honestly, I don't have a whole lot left. Maybe I'll tweak it with the tools first.
Yep. Do it. Yeah, that gives you 2.
Yeah, and honestly,
I'll give him my fancy hat so he thinks better.
Punk dunk. I'll take that.
That's
Yeah.
5. Yep.
Oh, I got shooting stuff.
Yep. That's 6.
Knowing about machines.
Sure.
Because I'm twerking on it, or
Yep.
twerking on it. I'm tweaking
You
it.
twerk- okay. Well, that's not. That's
I'm tweaking
I
on it.
didn't realize you meant knowing in the biblical sense.
Well, he's got a female orc as the horse, so
7.
yeah, she would be twerking on it.
So what was that, 7?
You're at 7 so far. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Okay. Give me 7.
Pow.
He's fucking-
Take
Well, here's the
3.
thing,
Good, I'll
because
take
they'd already used its.
it.
You shoot it, and yeah, you pull the trigger, and this gun starts to vibrate in your hand, and it's glowing, and it's getting hot, and that blue stuff underneath there starting to ooze out. And the slug inside is just vibrating, and you're cranking on the back of it with a wrench, getting even more power out of it. The battery reads all the way to 0, and finally it explodes off of your hand. Like the slug is fired, but the piece just explodes in your hand. And you kind of watch in slow motion as that kinetic slug just crosses the distance and hits that little unicorn right in the side of its little rainbow temple. Right below its little rainbow mane.
It's Lucky Charms.
And from the horn to the shoulders just vaporizes in a mist. Just pff. Body drops. And you're left there standing holding the horn. And you just hear from around you various versions of oh my god. Oh. And people like trying to cover their eyes, but it's too late.
So I'm sitting here covered in sparkles, looking at Wrench, saying, "That
Yeah,
was
you guys I
awesome!"
was just coming to this. You and everybody within 30 feet of you is covered in rainbow sparkles. They're coming down out of the sky around you.
Oh,
And the
can
torchlight and the tears.
please tell me the horn's still somewhere.
He's
in my
got the
hand.
horn in his hand, and the body from the shoulders back is intact on the ground.
All right, I'm gonna pick it up and start dragging it out of the palace.
Let's like it,
Just
boys.
by its hind leg.
Yeah,
Just gonna start dragging it down.
the people by the gate just move. The guards move to the gates, open the gates for you. The well-lit bridge across the into the rich part of town is open. You drag the bloody corpse and the horn with you. You're limping and you're holding your head on because it's not quite right still. There's your hands all shot to shit because your gun blew up, and to be honest, the keg's broken and the buzz is wearing off. But you guys walk out of the east side of town through the Elven Quarter as they flee from the smell of you, never mind the sight. And you can make all the rude elf comments you want on the way out.
I'm thinking we could stop at Ironside's Tavern on the way out and get something to drink.
No, let's go back to that fun Northern place. Let's cook up this. Let's cook up this unicorn.
As you get to the edge of the bridge, you see in front of you a bunch of the dwarves from the party, and they've got a couple of carts with them. One of them is like a barbecue cart, and it's all ready to go. Like the sauce is there, the spit is there. They are ready
tailgate
to
party.
cook this unicorn for you.
Awesome.
There's an apothecary ready to buy the horn.
I think it's time for like some like cultural diplomacy. Let's have a kegger, guys.
You love
Honestly,
getting
you
drunk.
guys
I love
party
getting
the
drunk.
rest of the day and the night away, covered in rainbow sparkles. The unicorn is delicious.
Smells
You make
vaguely
a
of Lucky
ton
Charms.
of money off of the horn, and the best part is you don't have to buy your own beers because in this dwarven village, the two of you are fucking legends.
Hey, the
That's-
only two orcs enjoyed by fucking dwarves in the history of all of Orcdom.
And that is where we will drop the curtain on tonight. Oh man, thank you guys so much.
That was awesome. This was absolutely everything I was expecting it to be.
Oh, that was so much fun. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so good.
Here's the bit where I pay you guys off for all your hard work. Is there? I know I'm gonna start with you, Nick. Also by Roos Bar. That's why we used your name tonight. Is you stream on your own account? So
Yeah.
give us a bit about that. This is shameless self promotion.
Shameless self promotion. I'm a variety streamer. I do just about anything, whatever I feel like at the time. I take suggestions, all those great things. If I've got it and you want to watch, I will play it. It's mostly just a place to come hang out, be chill, and enjoy other people's company. There's no BS and no, I don't accept strife and confrontation and all that crap. I'm the only one that gets to confront anything, and it's in the game. Other than that, it's all just love and getting along and hanging out and being awesome with each other.
Excellent.
At
And
Roos
I've
Bar.
got you coming back next week for
Yeah.
Crash Pandas. So that'll
I
be
am
fun.
super stoked for that.
That's going to be 5 raccoons in a car. No communication allowed. It's a spectacular game. Bison, how about yourself? Are you a streamer as well? I literally met you 40 minutes before the start of this stream. So
No
who
worries.
the hell are you? What do you do?
I do not stream myself. I will play Destiny with Ruspar, also Monster Hunter World. I am not cool enough to do that stuff yet. I don't have equipment / whatever. But yeah, if you hear my fucking sarcastic bullshit on Ruspar's channel, enjoy, because it's all bullshit all the time.
Excellent. And I've got you coming back in 3 weeks for Fairy Meat.
I'm very
Which,
excited.
if you like this, you're going to love Fairy Meat.
Yeah, I'm be there for that too.
Yes, you are. Yeah. My violent folks are the ones I go to for the violent games. So I guess I should probably fill in my blanks. On Monday, I am Guy Bontemps in the Too Many Warlocks game over at the Mercs of Mischief. On Tuesday, same channel, I run their Deadlands game. They are now in the fractured lands off the coast of Los Angeles trying to stop a cult. Wednesday, I do a game that Nick is in, but we don't stream. Thursday, on this channel, I do Iron Sworn with 3 of my other friends. And that is a co-op game with no DM and no plan, just 4 storytellers making it up as we go along. And then for at least the next 5 Fridays, seeing as how, depending on how this goes, we will be doing this here on Friday nights with various groups of people playing various games. Next week is Crash Pandas with 5 people going on a rally for the valley, where they are going to have to try and win a rally cross street race in an attempt to raise the money to save the piece of abandoned land that they live on. So that's next week.
That's going to be chaos.
It is going to be
That's
absolutely nuts in
awesome.
a completely different way than this. But until then, my standard round of thank yous. Bison, thank you. Ruspar, thank you guys. That was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Thank you to everybody that's watching on Twitch, and thank you to everybody that's going to be watching in future on YouTube. It'll be up there in about 2 days. And with no more, let me quickly check chat, make sure we didn't leave any no unanswered questions there. Until next time, guys, thank you so much. I had a blast. Bye.
Cheers.